Well, it's time to be up north, and you're all here, so thanks for being here for this celebration of my last weekend as the pastor at Holy Redeemer. Even Father Bob's here, so thanks for being here. We got both deacons here and all of you, and we're going to have a beautiful dinner and celebration at the Family Life Center afterwards. So I'm not going to preach. I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's get at this. No, that's not true altogether. There are some things I want to say, and you know what they are more than anything else. It's what we say in the Eucharist, Eucharistic prayer. When we start every single Sunday, we said, "It is right and just, our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere to give you thanks, Lord, Holy Father Almighty." And so I want to start right there in giving thanks because it's only right and my duty to say thank you to all of you, to say how much gratitude I have for the 13 years that you've given me. We've worked together and we've accomplished a wonderful work of God with everyone who's here. It was just my joy and my delight, and I just want to say thank you to all the people who have been a part of this, and thank you to the ministry team. I've been telling them for 10 years, ask them, they'll verify this is true. I'm like, I'm going to retire in 10 years. You guys better be ready. You got a plan? You got your ministries in place? I'm going to retire in 9 years. You guys better be ready. You got your ministries in place? Everything, so it's sustainable. Right up to this last year. I'm retiring this year. Are you ready? And so, just so you guys all know, because people start rumors, this isn't a surprise that I'm retiring. I've been telling these guys all along the way to be ready. It wasn't forced on me or anything like that. I've been looking forward to this day. When I came here, I said, probably to Ken Jubar or something, I said, I'll give you 5 years. He said, you better at least give us 10. And so we gave 13. And we spent 13 years together. And so we've been doing it together, I think is what I want to say. And I want to say thank you to just even the people. I think COVID in some ways made us better. A couple weeks ago, we got a visit from Anna, who lives in Switzerland. And she's like a parishioner, if you will. She lives in Switzerland. Well, thanks for coming. Glad you could make it. It's Claire's fault. I'm not buying it. So, you know, Austin, you weren't the last one here. There he is. So he's my son. I can pick on him. I don't know where I was. Ann Arbor's here in the house. No, she came all the way from Switzerland. She said, I wanted to say hi to you. I wanted to meet you. She's been going to church at Holy Redeemer ever since COVID hit, and we started streaming, and we've had that effect too. So all of you who have been a part of the wonderful work God's doing here by watching us and to worshiping with us all around the world. What a wonderful experience that's been. I want to say thank you to Bishop Mingling for 2 things. One, having the courage to say, yeah, I think we're ready for this. I sat with Bishop Mingling, Monsignor Murphy, Monsignor Lunsford, or Monsignor Reicha at the time. It's Bishop Reicha now. And he just looked at him and says, what do you guys think? I think we're ready. I think we're ready for a married priest. And they all go, yeah, I think we're ready. Let's do this. So thank you, Bishop Mingling, for that. But also thank you that under Bishop Mingling, when you became a priest, his program was you could retire at the age of 65. Everyone else has to wait till they're 70 now who came in under Bishop Boyer. So thank you for the early retirement date, Bishop Mingling. But thank you to all of you. I just can't believe all the things we've done over the last 13 years. And if you look around and if you think of those things, we've done so much. And that's how it is. We have done so much. We committed for the whole 13 years that we were going to do this. It wasn't going to be something that I had to do. We were going to collaborate and work together. Everyone would have a voice, and God would do a mighty work. And God did do a mighty work among us. So, thank you to you and to all who are watching, all who are here. Thank you for 13 wonderful years. It was kind of weird preparing for this homily. A little nervous, a little excited, a little full of joy, a little full of sadness. All the emotions are working, but just thank you. So in the gospel, just to say a little word about the gospel, of all the commands that Jesus gave us, which one is repeated the most in the New Testament? Of all the commands Jesus gave us, which one is repeated the most in the New Testament? Is it stop judging, Is it love one another? Is it repent, for the kingdom of heaven is here? What's the most repeated command in all of the New Testament? Can you think of some in your head? What you might say, this is probably what Jesus said the most. The command that Jesus said the most in the whole New Testament, in all of the Gospels, was do not be afraid. Can you believe it? That's his number one command. Don't be afraid. And I was looking up things on being afraid today, and I came across a video from a movie that I watched a long time ago. It was just a beautiful little movie. Anyone watch Akeelah and the Bee? Akeelah and the Bee? Just a little girl who's a spelling bee champion, okay? And she is scared, okay? She's just this little girl and from, a little bit of a disadvantaged background. And so she meets with her mentor to be, and he has her read off of his wall something he has framed up there. And it says something like this. It said, the deepest fear among us human beings is not that we are inadequate. The deepest fear among us is that we are powerful beyond measure. Who are we to be gorgeous, talented, brilliant, fabulous? And it says, no, who are we not to be all those things? You were born to manifest the glory of God in this life. Yeah, and to live that out in front of every people, to be that light, let your light so shine in front of everyone out there that now they have permission to do that same thing and to live their life giving glory to God and living out that light. Yeah, not who am I to be that person? Who are you that you dare not be that person? So St. Irenaeus, one of my favorite saints, led me into the church. He lived around the year 180, I think is when he died, or 202, 180 to 202 is when he was bishop. He said, God is never more glorified than by the life fully lived. There it is. You want to glorify God? Live your life fully. Don't be afraid of anyone. Don't be afraid of anything. Let your light shine. And then that's telling everyone else, yeah, now you can do it too. We can all let our lights shine. We don't have to have that false humility. and we don't have to be afraid of anyone. All they can do, and they will, if you live this way without fear, it doesn't mean people are going to love you or make your life easy. They'll probably hate you for it because it's what you're called to do. You're living like God in the world. And so they'll give you a hard time for it. But don't worry about it. All they can do is kill you. And that's just a shortcut. Now we're really living the glory of God. Now we're living in that perfect peace and perfect love, and we're forever and ever. We get that forever. But we came in this life to manifest that glory. So don't be afraid of these guys. You remember that story of Hafiz, I believe? About 1,000 years ago, he was in Iraq. He was a Muslim, and he was probably reading Sufi kind of stuff. And he came across this guy named Jesus. And so he began to follow Jesus. Jesus became his mentor. And so Jesus is his mentor, and his whole life is now just manifesting that glory of God, that love of God. And so the other people of his neighborhood didn't like that he was following Jesus. And so they said, you want to follow Jesus? Fine. We'll crucify you like they crucified him. What do you think of that? And he's like, do what you got to do. I'm from another town. You get it? Just let the world know I'm not afraid. Do what you got to do. I'm from another town, and I'm going to live how Christ called us to live. Now, Jesus does say, don't fear people who can kill you. Fear the one who can send your soul to Gehenna, and kill you. And so there's something else there. And I thought of that because we do have fear in this world. I'm going to retire. And so I was feeling about a week ago, I'm like, I don't have any worry anymore. All of a sudden, that's so cool not to feel that worry. And I was telling Cindy this. And then I went on socialsecurityadministration.gov and saw that my application had made no progress at all. And all of a sudden, I was worrying. I'm like, did I do something wrong? What have I got to do? What? And all that kind of worrying is going on. And so there's Moby Dick, the book Moby Dick and Captain Ahab or whatever. He wouldn't take any sailors on his boat that, guess what? He would take no sailors on his boat that were not afraid of whales. He only brought sailors on board that were afraid of whales because they would know what a whale can do and what it's all about. And so then, in a way, Jesus says, put your fear, if you're going to have it, and you're human, so you will. Don't be afraid of Social Security or Medicare or any of that stuff. But get everything straight. Live your life in a way that honors God every day, that honors love every day, that honors peace every day, that honors joy every day. A life that honors what Christ has called us to really do. And the number one thing he's called you to do is do not be afraid. Who would like to go through the rest of your life and never be afraid again? Wouldn't that be nice? Who would like to go through one day and never be afraid for one day, right? Jesus says, whom the Son has set free is free indeed. He has come to set you free from fear. He is perfect love itself, and he says perfect love casts out fear. There's no fear in love. That's our faith. Yeah, that's our call. We can be that church. What if people came to church and they said, I didn't think about it, but the whole time I was there was no fear in that place. I was totally free from all that. We can be that church, that people. And what a wonderful call, and what a wonderful, you want to say it with me? What a wonderful faith we have.